I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today. Man, that was a hell of a game last night.
Hell of a game.
Yes, sir.
And I got to be honest, I woke up this morning a little sad. You know, no football for a long time now.
Well, see, you only had one day of that. It's a lot better than your wife waking up sad every day after being disappointed the night before.
You had to go too deep. That didn't work.
Well, I should have.
Well,
no, you tried to. You're sitting there pretending like I have no idea what you're talking about. That's why.
No, she knows.
It's only
she's blessed.
time. It's the only time he can get deep enough. So around here. Oh,
Absolutely. Always come up just that much short.
Touche.
It's all about me anyway.
touche.
No, but I tell you what, that Super Bowl capped off the best playoffs in NFL history, as far as I'm concerned. Every game, there, first round, I think there was a couple games that maybe you could take away, but other than that, it was fucking great. Overtime, 3 points, 7 points, didn't matter. All close games, all great games, and it was a good time. But sad to say, football is done for the season, ladies and gentlemen. But
It is the day of love.
it is.
There's a lot of love in the city of angels right now.
That it is. Well, bad news. I've got 4 whiskey wagers that I got to do. So I got to do 2 tonight, and I'll do 2 when we do our next one. But Danny, we've got to do 2 tonight for old Robert Bobby Whitaker Jr.
That's true.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh. I have to pay on one.
So you're doing 4 tonight?
No, I'm doing 2 of the 4 tonight.
Oh, yeah, because you lost that other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You bet on Izzy.
Yeah, we both have 2 tonight.
On who?
We both did a double with Jimmer.
No, what was the other one? No,
And
it wasn't
then-
the Izzy fight. It
It
was
was Tabasa.
It was
It's two
yep,
Tabasa.
Tabasa. But me and you went double on him with Adesanya and
Oh,
Robert
it was the
Whitaker.
Izzy one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
There's our double. Then we had Tua, and then there was one more that I had, Brunson and Cannoner, whatever. So there's my 3 and 4.
Okay.
God,
Here we go.
good stuff. Good.
Hey, you want to pop one of these nice, beautiful strawberry cream savers and take the flavor of that shit?
I told you where I was gonna pop that, and you could eat it out of.
No, I know where you want to stick it.
No big
Always
deal.
trying to gauge it out more. So good.
Okay. So it is definitely not cold anymore. That is really bad.
Terrible.
So,
Terrible.
hope my wife doesn't listen to this one.
Here, Danny, we can share.
Yeah, let's share.
Oh, yeah. Gee, I wonder why that is.
Because it's like sterilizing.
No.
What's that?
Why does he need to share one?
Oh, yeah, because he got real drunk the other night, tipsy,
Tips.
Drop the other one?
and, dropped his glass.
I don't know if it was necessarily drunkenness. It was just a little.
It
was just right on the
definitely
edge of
fell
it.
off. It definitely fell off, though.
Yeah. So we'll kick another one back here later in the episode. Dude, I told you. It is real bad now.
That one.
Because it's not cold. Like, not cold at all.
Oh, so that's what I was going to say. Hopefully my wife doesn't listen. I love
That's some real
savor
shitty.
that shit. That,
Yeah. It's like barely warmer, but it is.
Yes.
Oh,
And it makes
fuck.
such a difference.
it cleans
is-
the nostrils,
It is
right?
really,
Yeah.
really bad.
I left a little heater on, though, since we were in here. So
Uh-oh, which one?
this one right next to me.
Oh,
And
shit.
we're
Oh.
gonna plug from out there.
What the hell? So just warmed out. Dang it, he got us good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I should have set the bottle right down
Right
there by
next to it, just
I was just torching it.
boiling it.
Son of
Yeah.
a bitch. Well, you're right, though. It is Valentine's Day. We should have had a little Marvin Gaye. Little Luther
yeah, baby.
Vandross.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking
Indeed.
about? Little Jamie Foxx over here.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get it, man.
I thought you were gonna go with the what was that? Not Friday Night Lights, but what was that? What was his football movie? Al Pacino, him.
Oh yes. What was that?
They were the Miami Sharks. I do remember that, black jerseys. Steaming, Willie beaming, get the ladies,
I do remember
just
that.
a creaming.
What am I? I'm spacing on this.
Yes.
Oh my God! Any Given Sunday.
Yes.
Thank
There you
you.
go.
Yeah,
Any
yeah,
given
yeah,
Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Steaming, Willie beaming. All right, so
Let's kick off.
as we so eloquently put it already,
News and notes.
the Los Angeles Rams are Super Bowl champions.
Let's go.
Beating the Bengals 23-20, even after losing OBJ to a non-contact knee injury, which is feared to be a torn ACL.
I did see that. That is terrible for him, especially.
It's the same knee
Same knee.
It's
Same
same
knee.
knee tore. Yep.
So not great, but
He was tearing it up.
He was
too, before
balling
that,
out
man.
like this is like that video game stuff. He was pumped. He was ready. He was lighting it up, and the game changed after he left too. You can
Dramatically, yeah.
see. Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp named MVP of Super Bowl LVI after 92-yard, 2-touchdown effort.
yeah.
I actually would have given it to Aaron Donald, by the way.
I wouldn't argue that for what he did in the second half. Yeah.
2 sacks and the last 2 game clinching pressures, so to speak.
Yeah.
So just balled out. That's one hell of a football game. There's so many things you can dive into this. I've been hearing a lot about the refereeing, the umping, but it was more in the fourth quarter. But there was anyone that is a Cincinnati fan. First off, kudos. I mean, you guys had an awesome season. Way beyond anyone else's expectations. But anyone that says that anyone, like one of the calls, the phantom call in the end zone or whatever, shouldn't have been called. Well, there's one that should have been called just before that one or
Yeah.
after that.
Well, remember that face mask?
The long touchdown.
Well, I was
Yeah.
going to get to that. Yep,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Very first play of the opening drive of the second half. Very first play. Boom. Clear as day face mask.
Yeah.
One of the most clear as day face masks you can see. I mean, I seen it right out of the gate in normal speed, and then they obviously pan around a few times, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. Now, that being said, let's also go ahead and point out, yes, I understand that's one of the plays that should have been a interference, but our boy Jalen Ramsey allowed 160 receiving yards in the Super Bowl, most he has ever allowed in a single game in his career.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just Jamar that took off. Obviously, that play was T. Higgins. Jamar took off on him, too. Just not a good game from that man. And they were able to eke that out, though. They're lucky.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw it, but that last fourth down play,
Yeah, he had
Jamar had him beat by like 3 or 4 yards, and he was going down, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. He just didn't have the time to get it off.
Few little fun things that happened in that game. Or after. Van Jefferson, wide receiver of the Rams, after the Super Bowl title, celebrates with the birth of his child with his wife at the hospital. Couldn't stay with the team to celebrate. Obviously, took off and had a baby. Kind of cool.
Very cool.
really cool. Yeah.
Rams safety Taylor Rapp proposed to his girlfriend on the field after winning the Super Bowl, too. Do we want to dig anything into the halftime show? First off, I will say before we get to any part of that, it was the best halftime show maybe that I've ever seen all around.
It was great.
I did not expect 50 Cent either. I was like, oh shit. You know, I was more half-assed expecting that they were going to put like a hologram of Tupac in there.
I
like
had
had
that too.
I had this weird feeling like something like that was going to happen. I'll tell you, I'll take an old school In the Club from 50 Cent.
Yeah, it was good. Really good performance.
I do have a few notes on this game. Pretty cool things here. Joe Mixon is the first running back to throw a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl since the Rams running back Lawrence McCutcheon hit Ron Smith for a 24-yard score in 1980 Super Bowl, whichever one that was. The Bengals opened the second half with the 75-yard touchdown pass. Joe Burrow to T. Higgins, obviously the horrible face mask that was not called. But that is the longest touchdown pass in Super Bowl history since Jake Delhomme and Muhsin Muhammad connected
Yep.
on an 85-yard score in the
Pats.
Super Bowl. Joe Burrow is only the fourth quarterback to be sacked 6+ times in the Super Bowl. The other three, Cam Newton, Roger Staubach, and Joe Theismann, all lost at Super Bowl. And the last time it happened, Von Miller won the Super Bowl MVP. Matt Stafford has led a fourth quarter comeback 35 times in his career, regular season, and playoffs. That is the most by any quarterback since Stafford was drafted first overall in 2009. So once Von Miller hit 2 sacks in the Super Bowl, he had tied Charles Haley for the most career sacks in the Super Bowl since individual sacks became official in 1982. Miller has 4.5 sacks over 2 Super Bowl appearances. Let's see. And then there's another one that I thought was pretty cool. Highest passer rating among quarterback wide receiver duos in a single postseason. One, Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, 143.8. Matt Stafford and Odell Beckham, 138.5. Tom Brady and Danny Amendola, 130.8. That was in 2017. And Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, 129.9 in 2019. So, yeah. Cool stuff coming out there.
Yeah, there was a lot of complaints about especially at the end of the game there was that phantom kind of holding call that they had and things like that. I guess, I don't know, but watching that last drive where Stafford and Kupp just have that chemistry, I haven't had a chance to watch them a lot all year. Obviously, they have crazy chemistry with the yardage, the receptions and everything, but it was ridiculous. Like, he's the only guy that Stafford's going to pass it to, and Stafford finds him. And there was one no-look pass that he threw. I don't know if you caught that or not, but he was eyeing the tight end, right, and caught Kupp going across the middle. Not
just, not just
like,
100% chemistry, but, Cooper Kupp is getting open.
Yeah.
Open all the time. It's crazy.
When that's the only weapon they had left.
Literally
the only weapon he had left. The balls were, I understand that old boy ate 2 interceptions on his stat line. One of them for certain was 100% the wide receiver.
Yeah.
Literally bounced off of his hands, and that was the receiver that took over for OBJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bounced off his hands, and it was a nice interception by the I think it was linebacker. One-handed grab after it got bounced off of his hands, but he only had one weapon. It seems like a pretty damn easy defensive alignment for me, and they were doing pretty decent up until the last 2 series, maybe. Definitely the last series, going down the field.
Yeah, it's just amazing watching something like that when you know who is going to get the ball and they fucking get the ball time after time, including the game-winning touchdown. Like, how the hell? It's just phenomenal.
The game-winning touchdown.
So what do you fix on that?
They almost killed him on one.
What do you fix on that defense then? Because they seem like they have the corners and the safeties. What piece do they add? Gotta get a line piece.
I know. Well, you always can take more linemen. I disagree with you.
I'm just saying
they do not have the corners. They do not have the corners. They have
how they played this year. Yes. Now Eli Apple isn't a sexy name, but his stats was actually pretty good.
They had one half-ass decent guy, and that's Eli Apple, and then Von Bell back there. They played off of penetrating defense. They played an okay defense for the very very hit and miss throughout the season. The hit was when the linemen were getting there. Trey Hendrickson and all those boys were getting to the quarterback. The linebackers are pretty damn good too. I think it's what was his name, Wilson or whatever. Definitely sideline to sideline. They need cornerbacks. They need someone that they can if they're not getting
a shutdown.
Yes,
because they played actually pretty well. Until
their talent, their lack of talent showed up when they needed it. Because they don't have it. You know, that's what I'm saying. You're good enough in a scheme when the scheme's working and everything's working, but when push comes to shove, towards the end there, I just gave you the 160 yards from Jalen Ramsey. Did Jalen Ramsey give up something critical at the end of the game?
Right.
In fact, he was hoping
Well,
and praying they were super enough to
Well,
tell him that way.
he
should
did.
have on the one.
He should have. Yeah, the fourth
Well,
down play, he was beat.
He said he was falling, right?
He was beat. He got mossed up and then ran by.
That means old boy was in his head.
Now,
Probably.
to be fair, I'm a Jalen Ramsey guy, but he doesn't do well in the postseason traditionally. So it's not a huge surprise. He didn't play that great, man. He really didn't.
No, he
you
did
know?
not. No.
Even with the face mask situation, he didn't play that well. But to give credit to the Rams defense, after that big touchdown, there were 22 dropbacks by Burrow. He was sacked 6 times, and it was punt, punt, punt. I think there was a field goal, punt. Like, there was nothing. They had 50 yards after that big touchdown total.
Yeah,
So
the
Rams,
line problem, which has been rearing its head all postseason, they've just been fighting through it, reared its head again, and they couldn't battle through it this game.
Those other boys showed that it isn't just Aaron Donald either. If you watch the Super Bowl, you found the football fanatics or the fans of the Rams would know this, but and we did, but like the Leonard Floyds of the world, which you forget about, and so the Leonard Floyds. They also had their number 50, their linebacker out. His name's escaping me off the top of the
Ebanks?
Is that it? Is that Ebanks?
I'm not sure.
And then obviously
Or Fowler, is he there?
No. He went down. He went somewhere else. I can't remember where else he went. But like the Leonard Floyd at linebacker, I think it was Ebanks. Showed that it's not just a 2-man show. It wasn't just Aaron Donald. It's not just Von Miller. Even though they showed up too. I mean, obviously they showed up big, but those guys showed up too. Leonard Floyd came around and stopped a few big-time third downs himself. There was one where Tyler Boyd dropped that pass just short of the third, just short of the first down. Kind of getting murdered a little bit today. I heard on Sports Talk Radio and all that, and I don't think he should. You do realize that was the only pass he's dropped all season.
All
right?
season, yeah.
I saw that.
The only ball he's dropped all season long. Now, granted, it sucks. It's a very critical point. But if you look where that ball, where he was going to end up anyway, the only thing it was going to set up was an interesting decision because it wasn't going to get a first down.
Right.
It just was going to turn into an interesting decision. Are you going to go for it right here, or are you still going to punt?
Yeah.
But I'm just here. You just hear a lot of this stuff going on, complaining about this, that, and the other, and then Tyler Boyd catch a little bit of flack. I'm like, he dropped one ball all season, and it wasn't a critical one. It would have been a good one. I mean, it wasn't even one that would have gotten a first down. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
I think I'd go one step further than you. You said that Aaron Donald deserved to be the MVP of the game. Mm-hmm. He's probably deserved to be the NFL MVP for like the last 6 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What he takes on defense, right? Like, he didn't have the stats this year to be defensive MVP. That's why Watt got it. But just what he does and what he takes up, man, it was really cool to see. He had that last play to end up ultimately sealing the game.
You seen Sean McVay? They had the microphone of it, and he was calling the shot before it happened of Aaron Donald.
I didn't see that yet. That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, since he's got nothing to hang their head on. I mean, they went into Tennessee and took out the one seed.
They know what to fix.
Right, they do. Absolutely. And they have all these young guys.
And they have the cap space.
They have the cap space.
Paid.
Exactly.
Go out and get your goddamn offensive line. Get it fixed right now.
Right now.
Whatever you got to do. You may be rolling the dice, but go out there and trade for Tyron Smith. The Cowboys may be done toying around with him. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? It would rejuvenate him possibly. Go get something like that. Go get some of these guys and spend the money if you have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is literally it. They showed that he could do it without an offensive line. And I'm not saying at the time I thought it was a shitty call that you went with Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell. I mean, obviously that would have been really would have been better for him in this game, but they may have never even got to the game without Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
so I'm not beating Cincinnati up for that. But this draft right here better be like the first 3 picks, maybe the whole draft. You just go offensive.
They have to, right?
Heavily.
They have to. We're talking about Burrow's career. Right. He's not gonna survive another 50-sack season.
No.
Just like,
Yeah.
Like,
so we'll offshoot a little bit. I was gonna wait a little bit for that, but I did have a question, and it pertains to him exactly. Where the hell do I got it? Basically, was it that Joe Burrow? And I understand this is only year 2, but do you see, because of Cincinnati, that this could be just the next Andrew Luck? Wasted, not quite getting everything you need when it's time, getting beat up.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying. I'm saying like how they're like they have all the potential in the world. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, do you have faith in Cincinnati to get the pieces around him
Yes,
to protect him versus what Indianapolis did when it was too late when they got the offensive line?
I think yes, because they have the cap space. They have, the ability to go and get and immediately improve the line. Where I don't know what Cincy's numbers were at the time, but they can immediately do it. So, yeah, you go out and you make a trade for one of the better guys. You go draft a guy, throw money at somebody in free agency, and immediately bring him in and keep him upright.
The major problem with this, they would have to trade. So I don't know what you'd be giving up, but you'd have to trade. There's a reason why you don't just rebuild your offensive line like that, and the reason why you don't grab a franchise quarterback like that, because they're signed by the team that they're on. You don't see all-pro players, especially tackles, hitting the open market. You don't see franchise quarterbacks hitting it. So what I was more getting at is, do you have faith in them that they can actually get their draft processes correct to protect this man? Because that's what he needs. He has all the weapons in the world now.
Yeah. There actually are some decent guys coming out. Ryan Jensen, ranked 12th interior lineman. Brandon Scherf, ranked 18th interior lineman. Laken Tomlinson.
Hold on. You're assuming they're all going to be free agents.
Right, I'm just saying.
That most of them won't be. That's
Right.
what I'm trying to tell you. They will not be free agents. If they are, it is a sploof team.
Yeah, I think they
rarely
start
happens.
to address those issues this offseason.
Yeah.
That's too big of a hole to be able to completely take care of. So I think they start to address it, and then ultimately they're going to have to work on some offensive scheming to give him some fucking time back there too.
Yeah.
But they've made so many good decisions as of the last 4 years that I've got a little more faith. They've got a great coach. Obviously, we know who they have on offense, things like that.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna do it.
I'm tending to agree. I'm also keeping in the back of my mind this is Cincinnati at the end of the day too. They also held on to Marvin Lewis for 15 years. So I mean, yes, we talk about like you should never balk at having a playoff contender. You have to make the playoffs to win a championship.
I do agree with you, because let's look at the division. Pittsburgh, way down here, and they still almost made it in, right? Or they did make it in.
They did make it in. Yep.
They did make it in, down here. Baltimore, all banged up. Everybody was hurt, right? Browns, they come in high. Browns are the Browns, but they had a lot of injuries as well. And the Bengals, I mean, they had their share of problems, but they ended up coming out on top. But
they stayed relatively healthy most of the year.
Yeah, so maybe just a down year for the division, and they took over. I mean, they went in and beat Titans, close game. Like giving up 9 sacks, I think that game.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
I was gonna say the Chiefs win was impressive to me.
To do it twice, they did it twice.
Yeah, no,
that's crazy.
Right, but what I'm saying is, the Titans one was kind of like a. I don't know. You weren't scared. You weren't afraid of them being the number 1 seed, I guess. Like it being there. So I'm not. It's still the Titans. They're still at home. They're still number 1 seed. They did have King Henry back. There was no excuses. That isn't what I'm getting at. That Chiefs one is where I was like, God damn, Cincinnati can really do this. Mm-hmm. That's where I was sold. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. So we all are happy Burrow made it to the Super Bowl. Everybody fucking loves Burrow, right? Mm-hmm. At what point do you think we'll be like, they're a Super Bowl team versus they had some lucky breaks? Do you think we're looking at next year, 5 years?
No, I think they take a dip next year right away.
I still would pick Buffalo over them.
The division's going to be the division should be tougher.
Yeah.
Like Baltimore's not going to be that banged up again. Browns should be a little bit better, right? We don't know. We can expect a fall off of Pittsburgh. I think we can all with Big Ben. You don't know who they're bringing in for a quarterback.
If you can bring back, I'm going to tell you right now, you should pick an AFC team for the Super Bowl next year anyway. Think about the 2 major contenders that were in the NFC, right? First off, 3 if you want to count Arizona, and Arizona's having issues, which we'll get to. Mm-hmm. Arizona's having issues with their quarterback. Tampa Bay just lost their quarterback, and they're about to lose quite a few pieces that they can't pay.
Yeah.
The Rams, we don't know what's going on. They can't pay all of them. They have no draft picks. That's for damn certain. We know that. So they need to be able to keep intact what they already do have there. And OBJ just tore his ACL, so he's going to be, hopefully, maybe he'd be ready for the regular season.
And, hey, you got to sign him to a contract.
And you got to sign him to a contract. He's a free agent also. I mean, and then they have no draft picks because they went all in. And it worked. They have their trophy. You know, at the end of the day, you're a Super Bowl champion regardless. So they did exactly what we needed to do, right?
Aaron Donald might retire.
Aaron Donald may retire.
I did hear that, yeah. I don't think it happens.
I don't think it happens either. I actually heard a little more interesting stuff about that. That's like him saying stuff, I guess. He was in the last year of any guaranteed money contract. So it's and he's only 30 years old. He doesn't have a series of concussion issues. He's 30 years old. He's not walking away not yet. I don't think
you don't walk away on that play.
No,
if you're gonna walk away,
if you're going to, absolutely. What I'm saying is, if you seen the spirit in his eyes, he's acting like he was 35, 36 years old and got there in his last second. He's 30 years old. He hasn't been missing that many years. Like everyone's like, oh, AD finally got a ring. I'm like, dude, he's been in the league for like 7, 8 years. There's dudes that haven't even played in a Super Bowl that would, oh my God, like they're like 36, 37. This dude's in the middle of his prime still.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to hear that. It's more contract. It was emotions, blah, blah, blah. That ain't going to happen. So, and if it does, it's because they can't pay him. The way I could see him leaving is because they can't afford to pay him what he deserves, and he doesn't want to go to another team. That's where I could see it, not because of any other reason.
Sure.
I just think the AFC is going to be heavily favored, and there's 2 teams out of the NFC, possibility your Niners too, depending on what's going on, how Trey Lance develops.
Yep.
But the 2 are the Cowboys and the Packers. If Cowboys can't bring their boys back, which they're in financial fucking distress too, and then the Packers, which that would be the most wide open shot they can get. 'Cause first off, you just need to get there, and then play that one game that you need to play against one of the top heavy AFC teams, right? And that's the Cowboys or the Packers. Could do that next year, but they need to get all the pieces there.
Yeah.
Those other ones. It's going to be a weird year, I think, next year. And, you know, all these teams in flux, and you don't know what's actually going on. And
yeah, free agency is going to be
nuts.
Wild.
But long story short, or my opinion on it, is that they need to – you're not going to be able to get it in free agency for the most part. You need to go out and roll the dice, swing some trades for legitimate. And those would be the guys you'd be looking for, the dudes that still have all-pro in them, but have been playing down, and the team's ready to get rid of the contract. Like, they're ready to move on to the future. So, like, that's the guy that initially hits my right now is, like, Tyron Smith. You know, that's the one that strikes up to me right out of the gate. There's other guys like that, too. And then, obviously, draft heavy. You have everything. You have every other piece. Yep. Maybe take a couple flyers on defense, but you have some of those guys kind of booked up, too. So, you signed Trey Hendrickson to – 4 or 5 year deal or whatever. So you have the defense for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Told you about that. How about this one surprised me. NFL running back Adrian Peterson arrested in connection with what officials say was domestic violence. The LA airport police received a call around 8:30 a.m. about a possible domestic violence on board an aircraft bound for Houston and responded to a verbal and physical altercation between a male suspect and a female victim. Peterson was booked at the LAPD Pacific Division. He was given $50,000 bail and released Sunday afternoon on bond. A rep for Peterson and his wife, Ashley, said in a statement that the two had a verbal argument on the flight where he grabbed her wedding ring and scratched her finger, and then the plane returned to the gate. Evidently, there was a witness to it, too.
So he was just taking her ring, basically.
He was trying to, like, grab her ring or something like that, which I don't know if that – maybe there'll be more that comes out, but –
yeah. Yeah, you'd think there have to be more.
On a plane, though. Just don't do it.
Yeah, that's
that
the thing.
too.
Everything gets cranked up even more than what it should be, you know, on a plane because, like I just said, they're returning to the gate and they're bringing everyone in. And how do you say that? Thanks, Bin Laden.
No shit.
Zach Galifianakis. Love that guy. Dude just can't stay out of the news. He doesn't want to retire, but stuff like that. Maybe you just say, hey, I'm going to get off the plane. You go back to Houston.
Right.
Yeah.
Separate yourself from the situation.
Yes.
Here we go. The Cardinals and quarterback Kyler Murray are at odds after the season that began with promise and ended with a thud in the first round of the playoffs. Murray is frustrated with the franchise, was embarrassed by the team's 34-11 playoff loss to the Rams, and thinks he has been made the scapegoat. The Cardinals have their own concerns about Murray, with concerns describing the 2019 number 1 overall pick as a self-centered, immature, and someone who points fingers.
Yikes.
Who said that?
That came from the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
That's a wrap.
That came from inside
That's
the
a
Cardinals
wrap,
organization, not a direct one from the Cardinals, like on a press box. But yeah,
Yeah, that's still big time where it's being thrown around.
it is. And then this was in response to that. I got right here. Hold on. It is. Kyler Murray sets the record straight.
Oh, I'm excited for this. It's about social media.
Yeah. So he put on there. I'll just read his thing. So basically, one part of it, which I don't think is on this. Maybe I'm misreading it. All right. So there's one part where he says, "I'm not about all this nonsense." And then he writes on Instagram, "I play this game for the love of it. My teammates, everyone who has helped me get to this position, that believed in me, and to win championships. All this nonsense is not what I'm about. Never has been, never will be. Anyone who has ever stepped between those lines with me knows how hard I go. Love me or hate me, but I'm going to continue to grow and get better." So that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, he took, I think that was, I don't think that's a bad response. I'm not saying it was, because I don't think that's immature at all. I think it's just response to that right there where you're trying to do whatever, but
It's not that
whatever happened right there in that statement from within the Cardinals organization, you basically just lost your franchise quarterback, Holmes.
bad. Yeah, that's absolutely what just happened.
Right?
Yep.
And we've talked about this before, there's probably 25 other teams that are thank goodnessing that you guys are being the Cardinals. Appreciate you. Because now they can just throw some money.
Well, he'll have a better shot to get to the Super Bowl maybe because the Cardinals were not that good this
Not
year.
throw some money. He's still got under.
We're going to
for
go ahead and
2
throw
years,
some dumb shit in
So
there.
just
No,
so
they're
you're
missing
aware.
their MVP in DeAndre Hopkins.
So how much do you throw for the trade for him?
A lot.
I need to stick to what I believe, okay? It'd be hard for me to say, God, it's way too much. Why in the hell would they do that? But you know what? At the end of the day, if it's your franchise quarterback, 4 or 5 first rounders is not that. If I found out Minnesota gave them 5 first round picks for Kyler Murray, okay, sign him long term, so I know that's our guy for those.
Yeah.
For those, 6 years or whatever the scenario. But yeah, absolutely. There's not a dollar amount or pick amount. Those picks never are guaranteed anyways. This guy is guaranteed. He's already proven it, right?
Yeah.
So to me, there's not a pick amount for a franchise quarterback. Even if you had to throw a couple seconds in there too. Not in the same years, like maybe go every other or something, but because I want some picks. But at the end of the day, you get your guy. You have other pieces, especially in our scenario, the Vikings. We have offensive pieces already, so you'd basically be going heavy on offensive line and then defensive pieces. That's what your draft would consist of. I don't know what I don't know what's too many for you.
If I don't know, I'd probably give up 4 for him. I think 4 first makes sense. 5, I don't know that I'm gonna say there's too high of a number. Because I'd be jacked, right? I'm like 10, whatever,
Okay.
let's go.
Yeah,
Like,
let's go. Let's roll.
I don't know, but I think 4 is probably realistic, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you trade Dak for him?
I don't know. It worries me for being a small quarterback. That's the only thing.
The size is what scares me.
Yeah, the size. The size thing is a little scary.
The injury part is what scares me with the size.
Right, yeah.
Not
The potential for the injury with the size.
Not the old prototypical way where you're worried about they can't see over the offensive line. I don't care
No,
about that.
no, I don't care about that.
What I care about is like when he takes a little bit of a hit and it doesn't take these
Right.
average size linemen to land on him awkward.
Right, exactly. And that's what kind of scares me from him. I like Dak's size. I think he's got better throwing mechanics than Dak.
See, we wouldn't even have to toss that many, though. We just give him 1 first-rounder, Kirk Cousins, and swappy. Let's do this.
That's right. That would be perfect.
They're probably taking Justin Jefferson in 2
Fuck
first
no,
rounders.
they ain't.
Fuck
Hell
no.
no, they
And
wouldn't.
Kurt.
They're like, no, we'll roll with JJ, baby. Yeah.
Oh, they.
I think we're all on board that's we'd be shocked if he played for the Cardinals, and if he did play for the Cardinals, it's because nobody would pay up enough.
Yeah, it's gonna have to. Well, and that's the thing. The Cardinals own him for 2 years, so they can basically play hardball.
Well, kind of. He has the most leverage of any player in NFL history. You could lose me flat out, and this isn't me just sitting out for money. I could literally go play baseball right now.
That's true.
I have my contract with the Oakland A's. So if you don't want to play, I can still get paid millions.
But then he won't come back to the NFL because he'll still own his
That's
rights.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But he won't have to sit out and not get
Right,
paid.
yeah. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, he has with the most leverage you could possibly get in possibly NFL history when it comes to actually already being under contract with the team. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do it.
As long as he hadn't blown through that signing bonus money.
I doubt it.
But, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but if he wants to play in the NFL, he got 2 years. Which I don't know if he would.
I don't think. Nowadays they don't move a quarterback when he's on, or they do move a quarterback when he's unhappy, because it can bring your whole franchise down. That can demolish anything they're doing. You'd rather hover around 500 with a no quarterback, or the possibility of, or even tank to try to get your next quarterback, than try to bring the whole goddamn inside down for 2 years. They're gonna move him. It just depends on who's going to pay the most. Whoever offers the most, he'll go. He's going to be in a different jersey next year. Unless something magical happens between these two where they reconcile, I guess.
I don't know what it is.
I'm calling that.
I don't know.
I don't
They would have
care.
moved Watson if that was the case, I guess.
They'd
have moved Aaron Rodgers.
He also was diddling people. There's a huge difference.
I'm just saying.
And they did buckle on Aaron Rodgers. Yes, they did. They calmed his contract down to a 1 year and you're out. They literally negotiated with him. They're like, "Hey, play for us 1 year. We just changed this out. You're getting paid this much money, and you're free and clear after the season." Yes, they did too.
But not like just get rid of him right away.
Oh, they could have, but they tried to get 1 more year out of him. So they sold him on it. The franchise sold him on what they wanted to do. They reconciled the thing. I said, unless they reconcile this, he will be in a different jersey.
Yeah, I think it'll get fixed.
Deshaun was touching or getting touched by, that's a whole different situation, by masseuses.
Right, but the offer was on the table from Miami.
Well, he was
Why wouldn't you pull the trigger?
You already know this answer. Why didn't they not do it? What were they telling Deshaun? He needed to take an agreement and be done with it. He couldn't do it. You couldn't get 26 ladies to agree to. Otherwise, he would have been a Miami Dolphin last year.
I think Kyler stays there. I think we talk about how much you set your franchise back once you get rid of that guy. Mm-hmm. Once you think you found him, you try to lock him up. So I don't think they get rid of him.
So what do you take care of that right there then?
Man,
how do you take care of that?
I don't know if you can fix that.
You shit can whoever said it?
Yeah, basically you get yourself a fall guy.
Yeah, you get yourself a fall guy.
That's
what I'm getting at. If it is still uncomfortable, he will not be in a jersey. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
If he's uncomfortable and they don't take care of that, nip that shit in the ass, he's not going to be in that jersey next year. It just won't happen. He has more leverage than anybody. He said he will say I'll go play baseball. Those other two were going to do it. Deshaun was on his way out. And then all that happened, all that world-breaking news. Rodgers settled his way into the 1 year play and you're out. You have a free contract. That's what happens with quarterbacks. The rest of them are a little different.
I'm trying to figure out what's in the water in Oklahoma, like why the quarterbacks are such assholes. You know what I mean?
Lincoln Riley must instill it.
Yeah,
right?
he must just instill it, right? If it's that bad where somebody in the organization is talking shit about you, like what's really going on? Like you can be really competitive, right? You can be kind of a dickhead because you're trying to win or whatever. But if somebody's coming out saying that about your franchise quarterback, it has to be bad, right?
It has to be.
Well, how many times have you seen? And he's brought that up before. How many times have you seen like the number one top end recruits in the nation when they did like QB1 or whatever that was? You find out they're all douchebags.
Yeah,
right. They're heavy douchebags. So when Oklahoma, I'm answering for it. When Oklahoma keeps getting the top 5 quarterback recruit, you're going to get a douchebag in almost every time. The one
Touche.
that wasn't Baker.
Now it goes
Baker
to USC.
I had to play him. Now it goes to USC.
How often? Okay, so we're at the next level now, though, right? I am being sarcastic about Oklahoma. When have we ever heard this from inside the organization about a quarterback like this?
Yeah, this young.
Yeah.
Like we're not
you
talking
at
like
least
10
fake
years
it,
and
or
stuff. And
you got somebody helping you through this it's nuts to me. I don't think there's any way he stays, man.
the only way he stays is, I believe, exactly what you said, fall guy. They have to get someone like, hey, this is horse shit, Kyler. This came
I
out
wonder,
from this fella
you
or
know,
this person.
it got me thinking, when he was out and they kept winning, and then they come back and they started losing. I wonder if that's something going on doing with
They
it.
only won 2 games without him.
Right, but then they come back and then he
they
started
They
losing.
played like shit the rest
Yeah,
of
they
the
played
year.
like
They did, but
shit.
they were missing DeAndre for most of that up until the last week. No, not at all.
No, he was out.
Yeah, he was out.
Yeah, he was out. That was a huge difference.
5-6 games.
But he
Same,
was
but they
there.
played like
he
dog
was
shit.
there with old boy for the first game or so before he went out with injury. Was he not?
I don't think so. I think he was out a long time.
Yeah, I want to say he was out like 6 games or more, 6, 7.
Yeah, something like that.
But he hadn't played a game without him, right? Go back to those
Until
victories.
he came back.
You like to go back because you were right technically on one team, and that was the Panthers. Go back and see who they beat in those games and see how impressive that really was.
Yeah.
Did they beat anyone in that division?
Well, I'm just right, but it's like,
play
okay,
the
well
Jaguars?
this guy gets us wins, and you come back and really they
Oh,
played like
stop.
they played.
That is
No,
not
I'm
what's
saying,
going
no,
on.
he's saying, no. I'm just saying they played like dog shit. Like, do you think that plays? Maybe that's the kind of guy like Harden. Maybe that's just the kind of guy he is.
Who would be saying that to him is my point.
I
Why would
don't-
you say that?
I don't know.
Like, who cares? That's a backup quarterback. A traveling one. Who gives a shit? Make Colt McCoy your
maybe he
franchise
does.
in.
If he
Maybe.
he
He
does.
could be. Maybe he's mentally.
know?
I'll give you that. Maybe he is mentally soft.
Maybe he's got a little
that's-
Ben
We'll go with that.
Simmons,
Mentally
right?
soft.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got a little Ben
It's
Simmons.
just something to think about. Like,
Yeah.
huh?
I can see that. I can see the mentally soft part.
Shot
but
number 2, Danny.
Cheers.
Just chug the bottle.
Just chug it.
Just chug it.
That's bad.
Get you some of that. Hey, that's actually getting to what you guys are drinking up on.
Heck yeah.
What?
Israel Adesanya outpoints Robert Whittaker in a unanimous decision win and retains his UFC middleweight title. Australian contender Tai Tuivasa took Lewis's bombs in the hectic first round, then rallied to land a few of his own, knocking the Houston-based slugger face first to the floor with a hard right elbow at 140 of the second round in, I do believe, Derek Lewis's hometown.
Yeah. Damn. That was an okay fight.
Hey,
Derek
he
Lewis,
shot-
I thought he
He shot the boot again. Appreciate this
shot
guy.
the boot. Yep. He Derek Lewis, he had him on the ropes, and I thought he was gonna do it, and then it's just like he ran out of gas. Kind of like every fight, and ended up getting knocked out. My other one, Brunson, he gets TKO'd. So Danny beat me on that one. It was not a great betting week for me weekend. The Rams got me, but
Hey, on a side note, did you guys see was it Saturday's pre-fight presser? Israel Adesanya's answer?
yes, to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they were asking a question to Dana White about Joe Rogan. And then Dana White goes to walk off. And Israel says, I'll take this question. I'm a black man. I'm not going to say the whole thing because I'm not going to get into the thing, but he started going on a little swearing thing and saying that's my guy and one of the realest motherfuckers I know in an industry
Yeah.
full of snakes.
Yep.
He's like, that's my guy. End of discussion.
Yeah, that was cool.
I need to look this up to see if this is fact, by the way. Speaking of which, because we appreciate you, Spotify.
Shout out.
Shout out Spotify.
I heard Neil Young went back to Spotify now.
Fucking nerd.
He stood his moral ground, didn't he?
No shit.
Waited until they wavered.
Yeah, I saw something that when he pulled, so he first of all he took down the note that said, pull me, because then Spotify's like, okay, so they pulled him, and it was something like 60% of what he made on streaming was through Spotify.
Yep.
So it's like, that's not the move, bro.
Yeah, right.
That
That is
ain't
not the
Jesus.
move.
Put a stance on there. Make your cover photo or something like an anti-Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Do something like that if you want, but
Right.
that was not financially smart.
No, it's pretty great. There's a lot of people. They're just no-name artists that are doing this. They're taking a stand, right, just to get some clout. just to get a little, get some recognition. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Take it off of everywhere. We don't care.
Who gives
Right.
a shit?
Take you and your shitty fucking music.
When was the last
Go to
time you
YouTube.
even heard anything Neil Young or someone even talk about Neil Young? So that builds off of what you're saying, that they're just
I don't
jabbering
know.
about this, that, and the other.
Probably under my playlist of shitty fucking music.
Shit, not to listen to. But yeah, I loved how Israel just fucking backed him right out of the gate. That was
badass.
There was no bullshit. He's like, I'll take this one right now.
Yep.
You know, and I already liked Adesanya before that, but that made me gain even a hell of a lot more respect. Not fucking buckling under today's pressure, just flat out.
Yeah. I am a little concerned now he's not just mauling everybody anymore. If people are starting to figure the puzzle out a little more, and it's taken these opponents too. And so it's going to be interesting to see if he can develop a little bit more to his entire game as he moves forward. And but yeah, man, he's a good fighter.
Before this,
I
he
like
got
watching him.
before this he got a 5-fight deal, a new 5-fight deal.
Oh yeah,
signed.
yeah, he resigned
So
his-
evidently, in his in a little Q&A with him, he was saying that this deal, he's like, this deal I do believe makes me the second highest paid UFC fighter, which he believes will help the trickle down effect eventually here. The higher you press up here, you got to start bringing these guys up too, which I agree with. I think Jake Paul's actually making enough noise. They've been having to shell out some money, believe it or not. But my question to you, and I don't know this answer, I can assume who it is, but who's the highest paid then?
Connor.
has to be.
Yeah. Oh.
Not even close. Like, Izzy
Yeah, no,
might be
that's what I
number
was
2,
thinking.
but
Then-
by half or
So
something.
I wonder what
like,
John Jones was getting paid. Because John Jones sells some damn tickets too,
been
but
a
it's got to
while.
be Connor. Yeah.
It's probably Connor, Diaz, and Masvidal, right? Those are probably like the most popular, the highest money.
in top 5.
And I say I don't bring
I
up
don't know
Jones
about
because it's been a
Masvidal.
while.
I
It's
don't
been a
know
while
about
for Jones,
Masvidal.
so I don't know where he would be now. But
Masvidal, probably not Masvidal.
You don't
'cause
think
you
so
got-
anymore?
No,
Okay.
because you got to be winning, and he's had some okay fights, but he's not up there.
yeah,
Usman and
Usman maybe.
Covington, especially when they fight each other.
Gosh, it's like them two, and then it kind of drops off, except for what's your boy's name?
Yeah. Kazmat.
Yeah, man, he is gonna be a beast when he gets his shot, man. That's a scary dude.
There's 2 of those guys I was looking at. I think it was Kazmat was the one I was looking at. Is he undefeated?
Yeah, him and Islam, I think both. Are.
Yeah.
So I mixed up the 2. One of them is undefeated throughout their whole career. One of them is not. One of them has a loss in like their younger ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can't
okay.
remember which one. One of them has like purely, and it's a mauling. In this man's words over here, mauling, because it's like.
Would
2
you like
rounds-
to explain?
It's like 2 rounds or less. No, go fuck yourself. I'll give you a nice hot cup, but shut the fuck up.
That just means I was right at one point.
No. But even so, and nothing ever went outside like the first couple minutes of the second round. Everything was like first round or up to that.
Yeah, that's Kazmat for sure.
And like you said, as soon as he gets his opportunity, because he's been calling some of these guys out. You keep
Oh
padding
yeah,
these,
dude. He's
pad some of these guys as shit. They don't want none of me.
No,
Mhm.
no, dude, he's fucking stupid. Watching him, no, he likes to talk shit to everybody too. Even after Izzy won, he started talking shit. He's like, "I'd eat you in the first round." Like he doesn't give a fuck.
He
dude.
might too.
He
Yeah.
might. He might.
So he's
like-
hungry.
Yeah.
Right. That's also
Yeah.
dangerous. So when you're really, really good, obviously,
Yep.
and you have even if you have the track record, but when you're hungry versus someone that's already been fed, a guy that's been defending, what is this? Was this his 6th or his 5th title defense? Adesanya's?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it's something like that. His only loss was when he went up weight, right?
Yep.
You start losing a little bit of that hunger and that drive a little bit the further on you go. Versus this dude that is has inner beast in him
Yeah.
and who's hungry,
Yeah.
right? Let's see. Clippers, Norman Powell, the same one that just got traded to the Clippers, out indefinitely because of fractured bone in his left foot.
Ouch.
Just no luck.
Damn.
No, none at all.
Just got moved too.
Immediately.
He
Yeah.
balled out too. His first 2 games there, I think it was like 2 or 3. Balled out. He was averaging like 20-something odd points a game for him. Damn. Bulls All-Star guard Zach LaVine is traveling to Los Angeles to get further evaluation on his left knee, but still hopes to participate in next Sunday's All-Star game. I'm like, that would not be my concern. I'm
Right.
sorry. The
Yeah.
All-Star game.
Fuck that. You know, the Bulls were playing really good until, you know, some of these injuries started nipping them. But, yeah, get healthy, get right for that end-of-the-year push.
Yeah.
Forget that All-Star game.
You guys have a...
He's after the dunk contest, right? That's what he wants to. That's what he wants
Right.
to be
I
there.
think he's in the 3-point contest this year.
Okay.
I don't know. But
I
yeah.
thought he was.
Okay. Heck yeah.
Net star Kevin Durant says he does not feel that former teammate James Harden owes him an explanation for wanting to leave the organization. James doesn't have to explain anything to anybody, Durant said before the game Saturday against the Heat. He's his own man. He makes his decisions on his career by himself. He doesn't owe anybody any explanation, and I wasn't looking for one.
It's professional. Basically answer, you know, they're focused on a different goal, and the goal is now to make the playoffs, right? Because they had that 10-game skid. Now they're sitting on the brink.
You were pretty young. Do you remember when Kevin Durant was like that lovable player?
Back
With OKC?
in OKC, yeah.
Definitely like before, I want to say during even the championship run, where they went to the championship game, I should say.
Yeah.
The series. And then the media still loved him and everyone attacked Russell, and then he felt like he had to back his boy. And then that's where it kind of turned, where he kind of turned a little psycho. I was just having a little side cap moment here or whatever. Just fucking I'm like, God, this dude used to be like that one darling guy, and then you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I mean, like, and he's right. He doesn't own him shit, and he's like, I really don't. I think I'm reading. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We're moving
100%.
on with what we got.
Well,
I think he's happy with what they got too. The pieces that they got, that he believes that they can contend now.
Yeah, and they got some work to do. Like I said, they're sitting on that fringe level, and they haven't been playing well, and so they got some battling to do. Like I said, that's going to be a scary team if they do come up in that 7-8 spot to play as that 1 and 2 seed.
To play one of like the Bulls or whoever's right, like kind of hovering right there that's not used to being up there.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be that's one of those times you take that 7 seed over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if Ben Simmons can be.
I was going to say, you're going to need Ben Simmons because at that point, isn't it still home court advantage to the higher seed?
Yeah.
So with Kyrie potentially not playing in some of those games, you know, I don't know. Ben Simmons is going to have to show that he's been working while he's been out.
Oh, yeah.
No, they're going to be a threat no matter what, because they're not going to have the mandates once the NBA playoffs comes. People got to vote here pretty soon, so they're lifting that shit real quick.
Yep.
They're going to be scary as fuck, for sure. They're just going to all of a sudden become a contender, whether they go in a 7 seed or not.
Yeah,
they're going to be crazy.
And they have way more depth than they did.
They do.
I believe they do, and they have the right pieces.
And they're not wore out, right? KD's been hurt. He hasn't played a bunch of games. Kyrie's only going to have played not even half the games. But my thing is about that question. So it was KD says that he doesn't feel James Harden owes him an explanation. Like, what kind of question is that anyway? Like, Jimmer, do you feel that Rio owes you an explanation for blah, blah, blah? Like, you're a grown-ass man. You probably talked to him before he packed his locker up and took off.
Or didn't.
Just a weird, or didn't, right?
Who gives a shit?
Just a weird question. Yeah. They get that shit all the time. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
No, neither am I. Like, when you start catching shit like that, like, I'm that dude that will call out the uncomfortable shit. But it's because that's like, hold on, you're just going to skip over this. You're going to skip over this. Hold on, we're going to, whoa, calm down. We're going to stop right here. I'm that guy. We're going to stop right here, the part that you keep skipping over. But digging shit for like that?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
That's when
He's
you
not
get
there.
those
My question,
one-word answers, right?
You
like
know,
Popovich, like just yes.
And that and that particular one, I'd probably just go more towards like, what do you think this team can do now? Like, what of the pieces you got now? Do you think that's
people are trying too
hard
to dig in and fish out, and
yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, these guys are professionals, and okay, you know, Harden, he didn't want to be there, he wanted to be somewhere. Okay, yeah, let him go. We're concentrating on doing this. It's not part of it anymore. You know, let it go.
James Harden's a bitch.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's got some issue going on.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, but
superiority complex.
Something.
Don't know.
The Patriots may be exploring the possibility of Matt Patricia on the offensive coaching staff.
Wow.
The old defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I was going to say old defensive coordinator. Okay.
I don't know what
I
they're
don't think
thinking.
that helps.
No.
I don't think that
No.
helps at all.
That's what you're going to go
I
from
don't
losing
think
your
you're-
offensive coordinator to
Right.
the Raiders to that?
Oh, let's cover the shit with diarrhea and maybe it'll turn out better.
Right.
Hmm.
What happens when you polish a turd? You still have shit.
Right. Right, Miles? Right?
Or you put it in the washer.
Yeah. I don't
What do you
like it.
expect? It's not good, right? But
No.
so it's not good, and you don't have any talent on offense, so there's
Right.
no help for him either.
Right. Are you trying? When
Like-
I seen this, I'm like, are you trying to murder Mac Jones' career right now?
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Well, basically they need to go with, I mean, they have a couple decent running backs, right? So they need to go almost to what Baltimore does. It's power football. You don't have, and you had the tight ends for it.
Yeah.
So maybe,
It's not
do
bad.
that, but you don't have the wideouts. So go something like what Baltimore runs, that power run and use them tight ends. That was the most surprising part, right? They signed Jonnu Smith and, Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
And just they didn't seem to get the usage like they probably should have. But
I say they go
Yeah.
get themselves some of that TikTok All-Star and Juju Smith-Schuster. They get
Let's
themselves
go.
a wide receiver that way.
yeah,
He's more than suitable. I'm not saying he's like
Yeah.
a superstar, but he's more than suitable, better upgrade. And the other boys are playing with heart, so any one of those can be your number 2. And then you already have the tight end, so they actually have something. But the offensive scheme at the end of the day is what worked last year. What had you two dick riding each other over in the corner for most of the season, right?
They were great for
Well,
a while
So
last
you
year.
guys were
dick
like,
riding, but we were maybe
No, you were.
hand and dick were maybe touching at some
Yeah,
point,
whatever
just
happened,
slightly.
But my point is, though, is that what made it special was Josh McDaniels. Like, you don't roll with a rookie and do
It was
all
the
that. And the
defense.
defense. And the defense.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. And the defense. I'm talking about on the offensive side of the ball.
Glad
though.
to hear you say that.
The defense doesn't play offense, so I'm talking on the offense side
You
of
are
the ball.
correct, Jimmer.
It is a weird concept. I
Let me
know.
get a round of applause.
Yeah, absolutely. Tonya, this is where you
Offense
get
does not
educated.
play defense.
So what
Wise words from Jimmer.
Absolutely. Words to live by. My point is the way that was moving, the reason why he was in the Pro Bowl among injuries, and the
Yeah.
reason why this, that, and the other with no weapons and everyone was blowing him. My point is it was the offensive scheme. If you're going to go with that, you're going to find out some true deficiencies from Mac Jones, is my point. It's also a scheme game, too.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have all the
I
weapons
think
you need.
I think Patriots drop off this year big time because you're going to find out what that offensive coordinator really meant to that
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He
They-
doesn't-
they
he
don't
doesn't wanna
have-
commit.
He
He doesn't wanna
doesn't.
commit.
He doesn't. I can see. I
doesn't wanna
know.
commit.
I know kind of when to hop off when it's time.
But you fall off big time is tough for me, so I don't know about that.
What's fall off? big
Okay,
time?
well,
Down
they do
to-
play in a really bad division besides
Yeah.
the Bills.
Yeah.
So
Do they
fall
really?
off.
Do they really
So
play in a
Right,
bad division?
Dolphins are kind of on the up.
You don't-
Jets are
we-
horrible. But
We have Jets, so they have one, but that's every division. Then every division has a really bad team.
the
Miami's
Dolphins
got a
have
mess.
been horrible.
Except for the
but
NFC West, the Dolphins have been hovering around 500 or better.
They're a
That's
mess
not
right now. They're a
Yeah.
mess.
They are kind of a mess.
right. And New England always splits the series, no matter how messy they are, gentlemen. Every single season, they don't sweep
Just
them.
You asked about terrible division. Miami's a mess right now, right? The Jets.
They'll
are,
be hovering around
Jets,
Miami. Is
yeah.
my point. So wherever you think
think
Miami's
so.
going to end next season,
I
New
think they'll
England
be
will be hovering in
battling.
there.
They'll be battling for who it'll be one or the other, one game ahead, and not great at that 500.
So they'll still be around 500.
And probably
Yeah. Okay. I'm
9,
with that.
8, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Either way.
I'm
Yep.
with that.
Number 6, Iowa State earns highest AP women's basketball poll ranking in 20 years. Number 6.
Cool. Good for them. That's
It's impressive.
That is impressive.
2001, 2002.
I didn't realize that.
I think somewhere. Yeah, I think it was 2001, 2002 season was the last time they were that high.
Okay.
Good for them. They don't have
Yeah.
a flamethrower though over at Iowa State, do they, Jimmer?
Oh, Caitlin Curry, baby. I mean, Caitlin Clark.
She's probably yelling
Weird
Kobe every
mix-up.
time she
Weird
shoots.
mix-up.
Weird mix-up. I mean,
Weird.
it looked like it out there.
She's yelling Kobe
That's
every
right.
time she puts it up, though.
Yeah.
That is not what
Shout
she's
out
doing.
State. Nice work, but you just don't got her.
You just
This
don't have it.
girl is phenomenal.
That players like that is where you push yourself into.
It would be, gosh, I wish they would win more games off of that. Because then it would be, like, everybody in Iowa knows her, right? And, like, that's awesome, badass. But, man, if they could just string together a few more wins, she'd be all over. All over.
And it doesn't make sense anyway because they're a top 10.
Yeah, they're still
team. Like,
whatever.
you know,
But, yeah.
it sucks.
Man, if they could just nail some of them close games into wins, oh, man, she'd be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's a baller for sure.
Yeah, so I had that. After 2-year ban for violating the NBA/NBAPA anti-dope program, guard Tyreke Evans has been reinstated to play in the league.
Awesome.
His career averages are 15.7 points, 4.8 rebounds, 4.6 assists in 594 games.
Yeah.
I see 2 scenarios breaking out here.
Lakers.
Yeah. but it isn't just Lakers. Anyone that considers themselves, and Lakers obviously are still blindsided thinking they are, but anyone that considers themselves a true contender, you take a flyer on a guy like that.
Absolutely. It's not even a flyer.
Well, it's kind of a flyer. He hasn't played in a couple years.
Yeah, I get that. But
and to transition into what you're trying to do in less than half a season.
Sure.
That's what I'm getting about a flyer. You're not expecting that, but if it does take off, fuck.
Heck yeah.
Or it's going to be a completely low team that's already sold everything and they bring in him on a low contract, which doesn't hurt him either, though.
Yeah, either way, to get back into the league.
It gives him the opportunity to show that he can that he still has it, sign that low one, and he can get a better contract in the offseason.
Yep. That's good for him. As soon as I saw it, I was like, man, that's awesome. We're moving away from the stereotypes of that marijuana is bad for you and, it doesn't have anything to do with pain management, and we're kind of heading that direction, and so that was good to hear.
Absolutely. 76ers say James Harden is out through the All-Star break with a hamstring strain, so it's legit. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
So it was absolutely a legit injury. The tanking, or whatever you want to call it, remember the game before, before he went out.
Yeah.
The 34-plus minutes, but 3 points, whatever the hell it was. But as soon as I seen this, I'm like, all right. So he really was banged up. It wasn't just like, oh, I got a sore hammy.
Right. Yeah, get some extra rest, and said it's going to become, a brutal stretch down the end.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're not going to have Embiid at some point. So you have to carry that shit too and get pissed off. So.
Oh, you're just putting it out there.
Okay.
Like that.
All right.
They're beating him up, man.
Yeah.
He's playing too much.
Well, let's see. Trying to look at something while I'm going down the nose. You guys need to learn how to talk more.
Look at this.
That's a short story.
Doesn't matter.
Dolphins will hire Chargers run game coordinator Frank Smith as the offensive coordinator, even though new head coach Mike McDaniel will still call the plays.
Oh, it's one of those, huh?
Yeah.
And then someone will get suckered if they do good.
No shit. Immediately.
I don't know. I don't know which way to think either which way, to tell you the truth. Chargers is nice and everything. And the run game was special.
Yeah.
It didn't matter who was kind of in there. They kind of chose spark every so often. Of course, little guy, I always mess up his name.
Austin Eckler.
Balled out.
Yeah.
More specifically in the pass game. The run game wasn't bad or anything like that, but more specifically in the pass game, it seemed like he always got a bunch of touchdowns. We'll see. I don't know how much it does matter if the head coach is going to call the plays anyways. So,
yep.
Especially as I do believe he's a first-time head coach, so you're not going to just hand over the thing that got you a head coaching job in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Zimmer for the first couple of years called all defensive plays. And the reason why is that's what got you there. That's your bread and butter. That's one thing that you can control, that you know your shit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing with these offensive coordinators turned head coach. Most of them call their own plays. They don't pass it over.
Right.
Because they know that's what got them there. So I guess we'll see. I didn't think anything special about it, but since I just put this one in here, Cincinnati football coach Luke Fickell agrees to a new $5 million per year deal through 2028.
Good for him.
Man's getting paid.
Paid. I see some drop off. Unfortunately, you lose your two corners and your quarterback, and I think a running back too, right? Didn't we say he was?
I think so.
He was up there too.
Yeah.
So a lot of losses. Good for him to go out and get paid. He absolutely should. Mm-hmm. I do see a drop off though this coming season.
We'll see what they have coming in. So obviously, it isn't like we're all following their
recruiting.
Their recruiting or anything like that, and how it plays. So he had the benefit of having Desmond Ridder, especially the last 2 years.
For I was going to say consecutively that many years.
Well, I'd say all the years, but the last 2 years have been his most impressive. Before he was just like kind of like a running quarterback. Right. The last 2 years kind of turned into a dual threat.
Then you get a transfer from Alabama at running back. Mm-hmm. You get to develop your corners.
Was he from? I thought he was from somewhere else.
No, he's from Alabama.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
you get to develop your corners. They finally ball out. Tough to replace that kind of production.
Mm-hmm.
So I see a big drop off. I mean, they may, they could probably still compete in that whatever division or whatever conference they're in.
AAC.
Yeah, the AAC.
Power 6, baby.
But I think as for top 25, not going to be
Aren't they
good.
one of the teams moving out? They're moving next couple years anyway.
Yeah,
Big 12.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but either way, I do understand what you're saying. We'll see what is. This is what will be impressive for. Like, we believe Fickle's a good coach.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out if he really is.
Yeah.
Because you
don't
have
rebuild. Let's see you reload.
Yep, reload. Let's see if you have the ability to do that. We see what you have, and I'm sure there's some transfer portals that we don't know about that we're not reading into that there were 3-4-star guys.
Yeah.
The Alabamas and stuff like that, where they kind of took them in, but they really didn't have a shot.
Yep.
They may have more of those coming down, but that we don't know about. But
Yeah, listen, he could have taken the opportunity, and this would have been when you bail, right? He could have got a coaching spot anywhere, basically, he wanted to.
And nobody would have blamed him.
Exactly. He chose not to. He stayed there, signed the extension. So if you're one of those athletes, you're like, this guy's going to be here for a while. I think that might increase his stock and increase the stock of what he can get.
And knowing that they're going to the Big 12, that's big, too.
Yeah,
They might
absolutely.
be able to start swinging a little more, pulling a little more.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a drop-off, right? I mean,
Yeah, has to be.
you were in the fucking playoff, bro.
You're undefeated.
Yeah, so there's going to be a drop-off, but I think they might be able to get back quicker than we think. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
The White Sox are mandating COVID-19 booster shots for all minor league players, telling them in an email Friday that they will not be able to participate in any spring training without being fully up to date on vaccinations, according to a copy of the letter obtained by ESPN.
Wow. Horseshit, but damn. Tough one.
Is it all right.
Yeah, you got to tread around. You got to tread around this one a
No,
little carefully. But
So if Major League Baseball was going on in general, right? Mm-hmm. Does the MLB have that for every team? Is it a team by team thing?
It's team by team. They're the first team to put this in. Major League Baseball team.
Okay. First team at all. At this point in time is when you fucking put it in. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me?
right. And I wonder how that comes, because I don't think you can just be like, oh, I don't want to play for you anymore. I quit, and then go join somewhere else. They own your rights.
Right.
I guarantee there's got to be something in the well. It all is different right now because they're going through. They're trying to get a next collective bargaining agreement, but I'm going to go ahead and assume the MLBPA, just like the NBA, NFL, any one of them, they take care of the players no matter what. They go to bat for you like 99% of the time. They are not going to be about, I would assume, you being forced to do something like that. I'm going to assume that. I could be 1,000% wrong. But when it talks about pumping something into your body, I'm going to venture a guess that will be part of this right here. I don't know if they'll be able to. They can say that any way they want to. But if you're part of the collective bargaining agreement and it goes that way, like, well, you can't do that. So we already bargained this and you can't force it. So,
right.
So they can say that right now. Great. I mean, the collective bargaining agreement's up, so you can say whatever you want. But until it's actually all signed, sealed, whatever, and we're actually playing games and we have the discussion, I'm going to venture a guess it probably isn't going to end up like that. Unless that's one of the things they do give in on, as in the PA itself, like when they're trying to negotiate, which could quite possibly be. But the death of former major leaguer Jeremy Giambi was a suicide by way of gunshot wound, the office of the L.A. County Medical Examiner said Friday. Giambi, who was 47, died Wednesday at his parents' home in suburban Claremont.
Yeah. A shame when I heard it come out. There are kind of not many details when it first got out there into the news. So, unfortunately, there's kind of, okay, this could be a suicide potentially. And, unfortunately, that is what it was. And, condolences out to his family and such. It's a shame that somebody feels they have to go out that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's too bad.
And on that somber note, that's what I got.
What the fuck?
I know. Hey, I'll lighten it back up quick. I'll lighten it back up.
Jesus, quick.
Okay? My weird law.
Let's
Okay,
go,
so-
weird law.
You must walk your dog 3 times daily in Turin, Italy.
Hell yeah.
If you do not walk your dog at least 3 times per day in Turin, be prepared to face a fine up to 500 euros.
What is that in cash?
It is
U.S. dollars.
I have no idea.
What good are you? Jeez.
I have no idea. I bet you our inflation rate, we've actually went the opposite way where euros are better than dollars now. It's also a crime to dye a dog's hair for aesthetics. So no pink poodles there.
No pink poodles.
And that's what I got.
What's 500 euros?
$566.
See, I told you.
Holy cow.
I told you it's climbing.
Jeez.
It flip-flop, right? Yeah. No, or we're getting close. We're closing the gap. So
Yeah, closing the gap. Yeah.
It used to not be that. It used to be
That's
quite a
crazy.
bit different.
3 times a day it would happen.
3 times a day. How do you prove it? There's a lot of prove it ones going on here, but this one seems pretty serious. They actually have a euro amount on how much you're going to pay, like written up in there with it.
See, there's a lot of prove it ones because back in the day when these laws were created, like you could just get accused of shit and you'd be done.
Yeah, witch
you
hunt.
know? Yeah,
Witch hunt,
basically
right?
witch hunt. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And that's what I got for that. Rio,
Heck yes.
what do you got for us?
All right, time for Rio's Random, brought to you by Bose Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Hit him up for all your cleaning needs, power washing. He'll clean decks outside. He even pushes and moves snow. He does it all, cleans gutters. Hit him up at 641-903-1720.
Yeah.
He'll get it done for you. All right, today on Rio's Randoms, first one. How do you think the world looks in 30 years? Give me like an invention. What do you think will be really going on 30 years from
So
now?
you want an invention. You don't want what we look like. What
Yeah,
it looks like.
you can, whatever. Give me something that you think will be happening, going on in 30 years.
This is more like God. I hope so.
Okay, yeah.
Because it should have fucking already happened anyway. One of my favorite movie series, and I've got my son onto it. Flying cars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We were promised this
We're
a
so
long time
close.
ago. Hoverboards.
Jetsons.
Yeah. Well, I was talking more like
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Like we're getting robbed, people. Flying cars. It's got to be. It better be. As in like a commercial thing. Like anyone can basically have one. Like not
Yeah.
something like only the billionaires that have one lying around in their garage or something. But
Okay.
yeah.
How about you?
In 30 years?
In 30 years.
In 30 years. So besides flying cars, that's a go-to. I think people won't talk on the phone anymore. I think it'll be done in the metaverse. I think everything's going to be done like in VR style.
Yeah.
All your Zoom meetings, work
Virtual
meetings,
reality.
virtual reality is where it's going to be done. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to go to like another planet necessarily, but I think it's essentially going to be another planet through VR. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not saying I like it. I
Now
just think
watch
that's where
him
it's
lay an
going,
egg
bro.
on something simple like, hey, fried eggs are not going to be.
Right. You can finally go outside without a COVID shot. Oh, fuck. No, I think by the time 30 years, we're going to have met the aliens that are out there.
Yeah.
And we're going to have contact with them in some sort of fashion. Now,
like it.
being the United States or being the world that we are, we'll probably be a fucking war with them or something. But I think it'll be finally here. Or they will be finally here.
All
Whichever.
right.
There we go.
We'll know them.
Real
100%.
quick, and I forgot all about this. You guys do remember Deshaun Watson forced himself off the Rams, right? Earlier this season.
What?
He forced himself off of the Rams. He was on the Rams.
Say the name again.
Deshaun Jackson.
That's not
Oh,
what
you said Deshaun Watson.
That's
You
it,
said
Watson. I meant
Deshaun
Yeah,
Jackson.
that's
Watson.
why I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
Oh,
he
my
was
bad,
laughing.
Jackson.
I was
My
like,
bad.
what the? I'm like, I don't
Got
get it.
him.
Yeah.
Got him.
Deshaun Jackson. Yeah.
Yes,
Jackson.
Yep.
yes, I do. I remember
Like
that.
Jesus.
We're-
I was like,
Why are you guys so dumb over there?
Yeah,
I was
just
what the
like-
fuck? Well, then, because didn't he force himself out of Philly and then they won the
You
Super
look
Bowl?
so dumb right now.
Right?
He did because he wasn't
yeah.
getting the ball.
Right. So he
Yeah.
didn't win a Super Bowl ring with them.
Right.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Jet
Come
it.
to the Vikings, force your way out.
Yes. Let's go.
Go ahead, Rio.
Bring it on home.
All right. Let's get personal.
Ooh.
What's your biggest no-no in the bedroom? What are you not letting a female do to you?
Don't touch my asshole.
No booty stuff. No booty stuff
On my side.
Wow,
Don't say my booty stuff.
That is real jealous. That's real one-sided. Like what
You
the
know,
hell?
yeah, absolutely. I'm a greedy motherfucker.
yeah.
Like that.
Fucking equal
I'll
for
take-
all, equal opportunity.
I'll take care of her in
Every
many
hole's a
ways.
hole.
Yeah.
Equal opportunity for everyone.
Not for mine.
No.
Not for you, Danny.
Actually, I may be doing her a favor here in this aspect. You know?
oh yeah,
oh, yeah,
dude.
100%.
I smelled some of your farts. You're right. Stay away from there.
Why are you down there?
No, it wasn't down there.
Yeah.
No, you're on. He
Bullshit.
was on the other side of the lockers. Other side of the lockers, and it drove us out the other side.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like
So
like
same
case
thing
of
for you?
flatulence.
Yeah, 100%.
No go for
same
the
thing.
2-hole. Yeah, that's pretty. Me too. There's another thing. Don't tie me the fuck up.
Oh, that's
Oh.
good too.
yeah, because
Oh, dude, I probably have a panic
dude,
attack.
yeah.
Yeah.
I start ripping shit up. Like
Dude.
the bed frame would not be.
No,
That's great. I was
Dude.
telling, I don't know if I told both of you guys this
You
or
told
not,
me
but
that.
there was a video that I saw. This girl's like,
Oh,
all
no,
right,
you did not
hey,
tell me that.
I want to, yeah, I did. I want to get freaky in bed or whatever. And the guy's like, okay, you know, so she ties him up. And she fucking starts tickling him.
Dude,
ties him
I'd
up to the
freak
bed.
out, dude.
Yeah.
I would-
Yeah.
I would-
Straight up
dude,
tickling his feet.
no,
that is bullshit.
My biggest fear is kind of combo of the two. She ties me up and tries to shove something in my rear end.
You have no control,
Dude,
man.
no control.
Yeah.
Like, no. She's like, I'm gonna need you to cough just a little. What the fuck?
I'm just
Yeah.
thinking. I'm just thinking purely Mel Gibson.
Yeah. So that would not be good. All right, and here's a tough one, and it has to be a person. If you had to rescue your family from a burning building, but you had to leave one person behind, who gets burned? And it can be your entire family. It doesn't just have to be like kids and wife, and that's it. Say it was Christmas time. Everybody's sleeping over at the house. House is going up in flames. You're saving everybody, but there's one you cannot save. And dear God, hope they aren't listening to this podcast.
Right.
Who's getting burned?
We have a lot of Charles City percentage on here, so I'm not from Charles City. I just have some family in Charles City, is what I'm getting at. But that's the area I was gonna go to. I'll let you go.
Go
first,
ahead.
Danny. Go ahead.
What the hell? You
Yeah.
pass it off
I go first like 90% of the time.
because your answers aren't cool.
No, they shouldn't be cool when it's the obvious answer.
Okay.
I've got I probably got a shitty uncle or two out there that I'd probably leave in the house and let them get burned.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely a shitty aunt.
Yeah.
Actually, does it only have to be one?
Oh, Jesus.
And now he's asking to leave more. Whatever it is. What it is.
I just want to make sure the other ones are extra safe.
extra safe.
Yes.
I got him
Make
really
sure
far
that
away.
I don't want
Right.
them to inhale any smoke on
Exactly.
the outside at all.
Exactly. I have to go with my niece's husband. Yeah, he's definitely Michael. You're getting fucking burned, dude. I may toss some gasoline on top.
What the fuck, dude? That is
With
like
all
the-
due respect.
That, I was gonna say that may be like one of the listeners, just like a hate listen,
Yeah, whatever.
like
Fuck
a
'em.
hate listen. He'd be like, "Yeah, what the fuck is this dumb?" He's gonna be shocked when he hears this,
Yeah.
or he's probably not gonna be shocked.
I don't know. He's kind of guy. He's pretty soft. He like does no housework or no outside work. Sorry, no outside the work. So he doesn't like mow his lawn or anything like that. I don't know if I talked about this, but yeah, he doesn't like do any of the work outside. And
This is your niece's husband.
yeah, and I was standing outside one day. We were down there and she's push mowing her lawn, right? I'm chatting with her. She's like, "Yeah, oh, it's really hot out, and it's pretty hot. I should probably quit." I'm like, "Oh, you wouldn't be all sweaty if you get your fucking husband to do it."
Oh, shit. Why doesn't he?
I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
It's just a bitch.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. So we know some soft.
Well, he
Man.
burning. So
He burning. And that is all I have for Rio's Randoms. Brought to you by Bose Power Washing.
Bose.
shout out Bo. All right. Well, Rio, you also have the it makes sense if you don't think about it.
I do. So, I told this story about this guy that we know. And so one day, he's trying to go to like a work meeting or something like that, or a job interview, and he's running behind, forgets to get gas, and ends up running out of gas. Well, we all know what the wrong part of town is, right? Like stuff gets stolen, bars on the windows kind of deal, right?
Yep.
You don't want to be leaving stuff
Unlocked.
right? And stuff like that, right? So he's like, okay. He hops out of the car. He's like, man, I got to go get gas at the gas station, which is probably like a 2-mile walk back, or give or take. So he's like, all right, well, I'm going to lock the doors. Hopefully they don't bust them out and, break in and steal anything. So he takes off, walks to the gas station. He comes walking back, and he says he gets really close to his car, within like 50 yards, and he can see a truck next to his car. It's like, what the heck? He gets a little closer, and they're throwing tires in the back of this truck. They hop in and take off.
No shit.
So, a group of guys pulled up to his car, jacked it up, left it on cinder blocks, and took all the wheels off of this car.
Oh my goodness!
So he had a gas. He said, "I'm standing there with a gallon of gas, but with a car with no fucking wheels."
I'd be so pissed.
Oh man,
Awesome.
dude, took all 4 of his wheels. Just standing there helpless as fuck.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Where was this?
This was in this place called Haltom City, which there's a bad part of town in Haltom City where a lot of things get broken into. There's bars on the windows everywhere. You lock everything up at night.
Street lights are out.
Street lights are out. I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, and so he said he's walking back, got within 50 yards. They finished up taking his wheels off and hauled ass out of there.
Jeez.
So, if you ever find yourself in Haltom City, Texas, words of wisdom, you run out of gas, just call somebody to bring you some gas. Don't leave your car alone. You may end up with no tires.
No doubt.
I like it.
Oh, man.
That just makes me
Ouch.
think of that. Used to be a picture that'd go around that said somebody. It's like a ghetto ass part of Detroit, and like you can't keep anything nice around here. Somebody stole their porch.
Oh,
Fucking whole front porch.
Hold on a second.
It.
The bad side of Detroit?
With all due respect.
With all due respect.
No, what I was saying, there's a good side of Detroit?
I know what you're saying. I get you.
We
I
said
get
like that.
It looks like a
city.
shithole. All due respect
Yeah.
to Detroit, I guess.
Yeah. Anybody from Detroit that's listening right now, we love you.
Clean up your city.
Clean it up. We love
And then
you.
we
We
will
just
love
don't
you.
like your city.
Yeah.
We just don't like your city.
It'd
Hold
be
on.
like that.
Let's see. We have. Yeah. Oh, we do have one. We have at least one listener in Detroit, at least. Hey, yeah. No, you're beautiful, beautiful city. Appreciate you.
Beautiful city, beautiful people.
One in Sandusky, Michigan,
Hey, you basically won a Super Bowl this
Hey.
year.
and Lansing.
Oh, yeah, I know the one in Lansing.
Okay.
67% of it is from Lansing.
Oh, okay.
Detroit, 17.
Over half. So
Yep.
get fucked,
Of
Detroit.
Michigan.
I got you.
Whoa.
We
Maybe they're
love
holding out
you.
hope. Maybe they're holding out hope. There's a
Maybe.
brighter place.
Right.
Iowa.
Man. Rio, do you have any shout outs to your uncle in prison tonight or anything?
Miss you.
Miss you. I hurt you.
I haven't heard that.
Day.
Right. I know you love me like I didn't love you, but
I've heard that in a couple episodes.
yeah, that's true.
We had a very physical bond.
Right.
Just stop.
Physical
Just
bondage, yes.
What?
Oh, my God.
On that note.
On that note.
Before we get into 3 games after dark, we'll go ahead and start wrapping her up, though. Let us know what you think about the whole Kyler Murray situation.
Yeah.
Where do you think he should end up
If he does, yep.
if he does go anywhere? To Rio's point, he could end up staying for sure. But definitely make sure to Follow everything. Like all the posts, all that fun stuff. The podcast is available everywhere, including
Facebook, which we had a sploof today. In our email that we got.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. They out there. I was kind of excited. I told Danny, I was like, hold on. That means we have someone we definitely don't know listening because it's someone that reported it. Then they come to find out it was a bad joke. I'm like, fuck.
Bad joke.
Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and anywhere else you can possibly get it.
That's right, baby. And definitely hit us up
in the DMs. Let us know what you think about the podcast. If you have any make sense, if you don't think about it, words of wisdom, let us know.
Shit.
Yeah, talk some shit. We'll get it out there to the folks that want to hear it. You know they do.
Let's go. And don't forget about the merch from the merch gun, ladies and gentlemen. We got the 3 gig hats. We got the shirts.
They're flying.
Yeah, the hats are flying. We're down, I don't know, about a third. Half.
Third
somewhere in there. Yeah.
Completely.
We got to look at the exact numbers. We're pretty responsible people here.
Yeah.
But
Super
the hats
inventory.
That's right. The hats are flying off the shelves. Shirts are going pretty well, too. So just let us know if you want anything. We'll work out the details as far as that goes.
Every bit of it does help. I want to give a shout out to we have the MMA fights coming up here soon. I mean, we're gonna be getting more into that more further along we get here. May 21st, 22nd, 23rd, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't know what's in there, but
yep.
In Mason City, it'll be one hell of a good time. Some pro fights and
Bet it will.
That's right. Look forward to having Mr. Mike Estes on here a couple different times, probably before that. So. Well, I suppose football's over, so it doesn't mean our news isn't going to get any more boring, okay?
No.
We are fucking hilarious. So thank you, everybody that's listening. This is 3 Geek Sports.
We out!